Hi, this is Vienna Teng. You're watching Eclectic Arts.
Hi Vienna, welcome to Seattle, and welcome back to Seattle.
It's been great to be back.
Yeah, so I know your fans are wondering, especially the fans here in Seattle, that you were here in November of 2013, I want to say, playing the Neptune, and then you've been working on your other career, basically.
Yeah.
Music kind of went on hold, so if you could catch us up of what have you been doing the last 2-3 years?
Yeah, well, basically in short, I started a full-time job at a consulting company called McKinsey. So it's been pretty all-consuming because it's a really demanding job. In terms of what I'm doing, I basically started out just like learning about the business world. So I did a lot of consulting projects just, on basic business strategy or organizations, kind of learning how corporate America works and how a lot of like business leaders make decisions. And it's been a really fascinating education. And the whole goal of that is that ultimately I feel like a lot of these companies and these leaders have such a role to play in creating a sustainable world. They're very powerful people, and they have a lot of ability to like lead the charge for so many things. And so that's what I'm starting to focus on now. So now I'm going to be spending the next year or so focusing more on sustainability issues within business. So that's what I've been working on. But it definitely is it's an intense job, and like there's a steep learning curve. There are a lot of expectations, that kind of keep rising. So I just recently became a project manager too, so I'm leading teams and figuring that stuff out. So basically, I just like have I have a relatively like normal life in that sense, and I have like my work, and then I have like home life and family when I'm not traveling. So that's another part, is that it's almost like a touring musician in that like I'm gone most of the time. So I'm almost never at home, and so that's been a bit of a challenge too, in terms of being able to like sit down at the piano and like spend time on music.
Okay, so the nature of your job is taking you on different parts of the world, different parts of the country?
Yeah, different parts of the country.
Okay.
Yeah, for the most part.
All right, and then if I read this right, you're not based in Michigan anymore, is that right?
Yeah, actually, so I now make my life in Boulder, Colorado, as of about a year ago. I wasn't sure how long we would be there, but I moved there to be with my partner, Jacob, and his 2 kids, so that's where I've been hanging out lately.
Okay, and how are you liking Boulder?
Boulder is beautiful. What I like to say is that I like Boulder for the opposite reasons that I love Detroit. Detroit is such an amazing, energetic place in terms of really grappling with a lot of, I guess like issues and questions of like how we live together, how we recover from really like traumatic and difficult things, and like the inspiring people who get drawn to working in that kind of place. And Boulder is one of those places where somehow they created this retreat of like the perfect life, that people have always wanted. So it's really beautiful. There's like a creek path that runs through town. We're so close to the Flatiron Mountains and the Rocky Mountains, and there's like a culture of real like mindfulness and spirituality too. So it's a very different energy, but I've enjoyed being there too. I miss Detroit though, I have to admit.
Okay. And so how did this string of dates happen? Because I know you had the Kickstarter. Is that kind of what prompted like the Vancouver show last night, and then decided to do a few more dates? Or is this kind of like I'm back out here doing music and then I'm going back to my career over here? Is it going to be like a precursor to something that's coming up a year from now? What's going on with the music part of things?
Yeah, that's a great question. To be honest, it's very much it was an opportunity that came up. It was actually the last show of this tour, the Stanford University show. So Stanford, I guess, approached my booking agent Jordan and said, "Hey, we have a summer series. We'd love for one of our alums to play. Would you be interested in doing the show? It's on a Saturday." So technically, I could have done it even without taking time off of work, but I figure like I gotta warm up to a show like that. I gotta like build a little tour around it and like kind of get back in the swing of things. And it was a really good excuse to visit some of these other places that I really loved playing on the West Coast. Last year I did a string of shows on the East Coast where it was very much just like playing solo, mostly requests, kind of making up the set list as I went and making it much more of a like house concert in a normal like concert venue kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided that we wanted to do that here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you decided to do that over
Yeah.
here.
But sorry to not have better news of like, because I'm working on something and I'm going to be going back to music. Like that, all of that is percolating, but I don't have any firm plans.
Okay. Well, we'll take what we can get, because I know, like for me, I was saying to some other people that I found out about this concert through social media, and then I know the 6:30 show tonight is already sold out. So it's like your fan base is still there.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to go, I don't think, and go crazy about come see the show. We're doing these, these dates from Vancouver down to Stanford. It's been like the fans are just kind of waiting. Oh, she's coming back. Oh my gosh, I have to go see her.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to see that.
So, are you going to be doing an actual set list tonight then, or do you have the request thing going? Or if you haven't been playing shows, it must be kind of hard to be able just to flip out songs if you haven't been, touring regularly, I would think.
Well, there's a little bit like practice that I do at home, just like running through songs that people might ask for, and it's still a bit of a crapshoot though. If like people put something in as a request, I'm like, I might remember how to play that. But hopefully that lends like a kind of looseness to the show that I've been enjoying anyway, and like other people seem to enjoy too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself, say, 5 years from now?
That is a great question. I don't know the answer to that, and I feel like I'm in the middle of going through a really intense part of my education, after which something is going to emerge in terms of what I really want to do.
Okay.
But I feel very much like I'm kind of in like the late 30s version of someone being in the middle of their college education and realizing like, wait, okay, I think I want to major in this, but I don't know what that leads to. So similarly, I feel like I know I want to major in like environmental and social sustainability, and I know I want to continue to be a musician. Those are the two things I know, and like what shape that takes, I don't
know. Okay.
Yeah.
But at least you have those two parts figured out, though.
Yeah.
This is part of me, and this is part of me. Where those intertwine or don't intertwine, who knows?
Yeah. Okay. One thing I've been very interested in lately is the power of music to kind of connect with people at a layer below a lot of the dialogue that happens normally, like in politics or in like understanding each other or just like meeting and connecting with one another. And I feel like it has an ability to create empathy or an ability to like move people and inspire people to do things in a way that like other things may not be able to. I know I'm being very kind of theoretical, but I think a lot about kind of the pain that our country collectively is going through right now, with a lot of the questions about police brutality, but also like police feeling like they're also caught between a rock and a hard place, and then a lot of the like just like all the legacy of all our painful history kind of coming to bear in so many ways, and the rise of all these like really interesting presidential candidates. And so and all of that reflecting all these other trends that are happening around the world as well. And at least for me personally, like I kind of keep my eye on the challenge of climate change as well, and like sometimes it can feel daunting of like, okay, if we're struggling even like to talk to one another, how do we tackle some of the bigger challenges that are already hard? And I do come back to wondering whether music has a role to play in that, other than being a kind of a comfort or an escape. Like after dealing with all of that in the headlines, you go and see a concert and kind of get taken into a different place. But how can music and a performance actually help you really like be part of that, coming up with answers or building bridges, and what does that mean? So obviously, like the way I'm rambling about it, it's like all very early thoughts, but I'm trying to figure out what to do with that, because that's really compelling to me. If I can help people actually sit down with one another and not be afraid of each other, and figure out how to start trusting one another and seeing what your experience has been and what my experience has been, and like start to make a better world through that. That would be pretty powerful. But I don't know what that looks like.
Wow, that was very deep. Well, I know that you have to get ready for the show, so thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to the show. It's been a while for me to finally see you live again.
Well, I'm excited that you're here, and excited that everyone is coming tonight. It's always a pretty humbling thing to, like not really announce or promote a show too overly much and realize that people still want to come. So it's powerful.
If you play, we'll come. Great, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mike.